Alright, the last two sections on our ingredients to avoid chart are carcinogens and neurotoxins. We'll start with carcinogens. They might also be called carcinogenic contaminants, and they are any substance or agent directly involved in causing cancer. These are found in many conventional products, including moisturizers and shaving creams. So the first one on our chart is Retinyl Palmitate. It's right here in the middle. You can see it real close. It's basically synthetic vitamin A, but it's found in many sunscreens and moisturizers, and if you read about why it's harmful, it says, in the presence of sunlight, retinyl palmitate enhances skin cancer lesions by 21%. And it's in the sunscreen that I just put on my child. That's how dangerous this one is. We need to be watching for that one on our own, so check your labels. If you find it, type below. The next one is Nanoparticles. That's right underneath Retinyl Palmitate. And this is not a chemical itself, it's the condition of a chemical, which might actually be great, like zinc oxide or titanium or other pulverized metals. Zinc oxide is the active ingredient in many of our products, but we want to make sure it's non-nanoparticle, and here's why. If I were to take one of my hairs, or you take yours so you can get a better comparison, and that's the Eiffel Tower, then picture an ant in front of the Eiffel Tower and see how small that is. That's a nanoparticle. So small that it can drive through the cell barrier and into organs like the brain. So the key thing here is we want our pulverized metals to be non-nanoparticle or non-nano and clearly labeled as such, to know that the particles are big enough and they're not going to get into those organs and cause cancer or be a carcinogen. The next carcinogen we'll look at is isobutane, and it's down here at the bottom of your chart. And this is a propellant, so in like a dry shampoo or a hairspray, a gel, a mousse, a shaving cream, when it's going zzzz as a steady stream, that's often the carcinogenic contaminant isobutane. So be sure to watch for that one. I also like to mention PPGs and SLS. They're near the top up here on your chart. These are just easy to spot on your label. So PPG dash, sometimes there's a number after it, or PPGs. These are petroleum byproducts, and the issue here is that some use petroleum jelly, right, as a lubricant. The issue here is that petroleum is derived from, it's an oil barrel, right? We don't want petroleum on our skin or anything derived from it, and PPGs are petroleum derived. And SLS, right underneath that, might also be spelled out on your labels as sodium Lauryl Sulfate or sodium Laureth Sulfate, and that's the sudsing agent, like what makes it bubble up in your shampoo to feel like it's lathering in your hair, or the sudsing agent in your dish soap that makes your whole sink full of suds to feel like your dishes are getting more clean. And the issue here is that you're being greenwashed, basically. There's a phenomenon called greenwashing where manufacturers will put a pretty green label on your bottle, or the words natural and safe, or maybe there's an oatmeal stalk or a blue teardrop to show that, to try to get you to buy it thinking it's natural, and yet you turn the bottle over and it's still got some of these very carcinogens in it that we want to avoid. Pink washing is around October, same idea with Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's supposed to be safe for breast cancer patients, or raising money for awareness or cancer treatment of some kind, when in fact it's got parabens and SLS and some of these other very chemicals that we want to be avoiding in it. So please be aware of these things. You don't actually need the suds. All of our shampoos and soaps do not have SLS in them. Definitely be avoiding these carcinogens. The last section is neurotoxins, and these are any substance destructive to nerve tissue. Aluminum is the big offender here. It's right in the middle of your chart. And did you know it's the active ingredient in many deodorants, because it's what is causing the antiperspiration that a lot of people desire in a deodorant, when in fact we want the sweat to continue because it's helping the toxins exit out of our bodies. That's why it smells. And the also thing to be aware of is that our underarms are very vulnerable. We have fewer layers of skin here. There are more lymph nodes, so more absorbent. And then aluminum itself is bioaccumulative, so it's storing and building up in our fat cells. So there may actually need to be a detox process for you before a natural deodorant even works, because there's so much aluminum that's been stacking up in your fat cells. We have a wonderful clay mask that can help with that detox process, or just switching your deodorant. It will take time, but it's totally worth it. It can be that one thing you choose to do today. It's a good first step in reducing your harmful chemical body burden. Pure Haven Essentials deodorants, both the stick and the spray, have been the best options I have found to actually eliminate the deodorant, to deodorize without any other adverse effects. So please consider changing your deodorant, whether it's eliminating it, finding something else, or trying Pure Haven's. It's a great first step. Thank you so much for being attentive during our ingredient detective workshop. If you found any of these chemicals, please comment below, and I'd love to chat with you. Have a great day.